Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. This is the YouTube Yacht Project. This is a rental cabin, a themed boat-shaped rental cabin that my wife and I are building as we try to get into the vacation rental business. You can see the last time we worked on this, we installed this waterproofing membrane and then backfilled with a bunch of stone around the backside. This is ICF, an insulated concrete form, as far as the hole goes, as far as the basement of this structure goes. It's got a little bow shape to it, a little roll to it. We got a window in the back. We've got these two little portholes in the bow. Now these will be round. We get that question all the time. We just formed them up as a square or diamond shape because it's a little bit easier to do at the time, but we will frame these out round so you'll have a round porthole looking out on each side of the bow. Not much of a view on this side, but a little bit of daylight to take away that dungeon feeling. Now on this particular project, we are funding the whole thing purely out of YouTube revenue, which means when we get enough money, we do a little bit more work on it. We've been working on some other projects you guys might have seen or may not have seen. The timber bridge project in the field. Nope, those are the woods. The pond build project down there that ended up failing and now we're rebuilding it. And then of course we're working with Dirt Perfect from time to time as well. But we've got a little bit more saved up and we're ready for the next step on this project, which will be rough-in plumbing for the bathroom on this end, and of course the stub ups for the bathrooms that'll be on the upper levels, and then of course getting this all cleaned up and backfilled with stone and ready for the concrete slab. Before we even get into getting that leveled up down there and cleaned up, before we can even start putting pipe in the ground or measuring for where the pipe needs to go for the plumbing rough-in though, obviously you saw we have a little bit of cleanup to do. That's going to be step one. Let's get to it. Not too much exciting about cleanup though, so we'll just do the good old. Got most of the styrofoam, all the stakes, ladders, some random trash picked up. Next step, got these 2x4s along the bottom. We had the braces for the ICF pour sitting on those. Got to get those off there. So we have all the lumber off the bottom, everything that was left over from braces. Next step, I need to make sure that there's nothing too high in the center where the slab's going to go. You can see the bottom of the slab. This course line right here is going to be the bottom of the slab. So I screwed a couple 2x4s together. And we'll put the bottom of the 2x4 on that course line. And the same thing on that side. And I'll just kind of work my way down, making sure I've got everything low enough. Anything we have to chisel out or dig out is just going to go into the low spots around the side for now. We will run a plate compactor over all of this at some point. Not your average millennial. Matt, who also works for Dirt Perfect part-time, he's got the plate compactor at his house for a project right now, so it's not available. But before we pour concrete, after we get all the stone in, we'll go around, we'll make sure everything's packed down real tight. Gonna have some in the middle here, obviously. We'll work on that. That little spot took about 10 minutes. Wasn't too bad though. There's some loose stuff in here. We'll check as we go. Rake most of the loose stuff off. Definitely have a little bit of a high spot here too though. Put the bottom on that line. Hold some pressure on it. Pick this end up. We're clear all the way. Good. Plenty good. So this is all cleaned up. Looks really good. It's all below or lower than it needs to be below the bottom of the concrete. So we can get a good 4 inches all the way around. There's even probably an inch to spare so we can get good clean stone across all this as well. Next thing we're going to do, I already measured out from each corner. I'm going to put a string line across here to where that wall is going to be for the bathroom. This back end is going to be the bathroom. That's where we're doing all our plumbing work at. So we're going to run a string line to show where the wall is going to go. I've got these two screws 5.5 inches apart. It's going to be a 2x6 wall. There's going to be some plumbing in the wall. We'll make sure we have plenty of room for ourselves. Whoops. The old hammer drill. So I fastened a couple blocks to the wall. We're going to put a string line where the bathroom wall is going to go. It's going to be a 2x6 wall. There's going to be a little bit of plumbing in it, and there's going to be a trunk line that runs up to the upper level. So I want to make sure we got plenty of room for our plumbing. Go with the 2x6 wall. 8'6" to the inside. Which will be 9 foot to the outside as far as the finished wall goes. If we go with something that finishes out with a 1/2 inch. Got it. There you go. I always mark, well, I shouldn't say always. I now mark the inside and the outside of where that wall is going to be. There has been times in the past where I've measured out for plumbing, ran that plumbing, went to frame, and then you're outside the wall, you're way inside or you're way outside. You're 3.5 or 5.5 inches off, guaranteed, because you looked at the plans wrong. So what I started doing is marking the inside and outside the wall. It's just a little friendly reminder of exactly where I need to be. It's no fun cutting up concrete after it's already poured. Let me get everything, easy bud, there we go. Let me get everything measured out, some lines painted, and I'll kind of give you a tour of the layout that we're going to use for this particular bathroom in the YouTube yacht. So there'll be a door right here. You'll walk into your bathroom. Immediately to the left, you're going to have a stackable washer and dryer and a little bit of a closet. It'll have a wall on one side, of course. Then we'll have a corner jacuzzi tub right here on this side. This will just kind of be open under the window for a little bit of space. We'll have a utility closet on this corner. That's where we're going to tuck the hot water heater and a little bit of storage for cleaning supplies and that type of thing. And over here, keep in mind, that's going to be a wall right there. You'll have your toilet backed in right there, and then you'll have a 4-foot vanity right here. So you'll have a stackable washer and dryer, which we always enjoy when we go places, when we rent places. It's nice to have that stackable washer and dryer. You can't do a lot of laundry, but you can kind of keep up with it over your trip, keep everything clean, that type of thing. You get a nice corner jacuzzi tub, which will be pretty cool. Of course, the toilet, 4-foot vanity, everything you need. I think it'll be great. We're pretty excited about it. It's a pretty decent size and a lot packed in to the space that we're working with. I think that layout will work great. My only concern at this point is the fact we gotta dig this out. And well, this is what in Indiana, here we call that rock. I'm not super excited about that. We'll figure it out though. You just have to work the problem, right? Right. No way. You guys aren't gonna believe this. There's a black widow right there. Web and everything. You know what? I could just show you. Maybe if I get you in like this. Yeah, see it pretty good there? That's one we're gonna have to take care of. Wish I could get a better angle of it for you. There's a little better view for you. There are a lot of good spiders that do a lot of good things, but when it comes to black widow, or we also have brown recluse around here, something that's gonna hurt the kids or could hurt us as well with its bite, they're gonna be gone. That needs to be dug out and cleaned out. And then I need to pick up a, right there. So we got chiseled through all these rock layers. Got everything dug in. I want to make sure I'm plenty deep enough that there's some good clean stone underneath that pipe too. I definitely don't want any sharp rocks, things like that, hanging out on the bottom side of that pipe and cutting it or damage it in the long run if anything settles or moves. It'd be really cool if they came up with some sort of electronic, like even if DeWalt had and he like pulled the trigger, and like and it'd like break up the rock. Oh, like, you mean like something like this, you think? Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that. The whole time? You've had it the whole time? Yeah, the barn, really just a couple 100 feet. No kidding. How many days? 2 days from now? I'll see you in 2 days then. Yeah. Tell you what, hindsight Mike has it a lot easier than past Mike. No doubt about it. So this right here is where the box and the trap will go for the jacuzzi tub. So we're going to use this cordless DeWalt. It's a hammer drill, but you can also put a chisel tip on it and put it on the hammer option and do that as well. Works pretty good for it. Definitely better than, using that. I honestly, sometimes I just forget I have tools, but that should get us through pretty quick. And once we get that cleaned out, we should be ready to go and get our pipe put in. Eventually, we'll take this out and dig out to where the septic tank goes whenever we go to install the septic tank. But today, I just need enough cleared on the outside of this so we can get enough pipe exposed for us to tie onto whenever we do run to the tank. Luckily, this is all clean stone in here. And it shouldn't take much. As long as there's nothing living in here, it'll be fine. Okay. Give it a little twist. Just count a few seconds, Okay. Okay. I think everybody does everything just a little bit differently, but me personally, if I've got something that's spurring off or tying into the main line, I'll run it first. That way, if I do this, I don't end up with this twisted the wrong direction. This will be exactly where I need it, and then I can continue on. That's just the way I do it. Water heater will go in the closet in this corner. And in my opinion, you can never have too many floor drains. If you have a place that could potentially leak water, it's a good idea to put a drain in. These drains are pretty cool. I do really like these, not necessarily the brand. There's lots of manufacturers that make these, but it's got the regular trap and also has this clean out section on the inside, which there's a cover right here to protect it from the concrete when we pour, and we'll take that off obviously after we pour. But on the inside, there's a plug, and you can take that plug out. So if you ever need to do a clean out from this end, you can run your snake right down there. And obviously you're not fighting the trap. It's a pretty slick design. Also comes with a little rebar chair right there. You can tie onto your rebar to hold it in place when you pour. Pretty cool. Definitely makes it a little bit easier. So that drain is going to go right here. And the angle of this piece is very crucial, because if I don't get it right, the height of the drain will be incorrect. The way I do this, I just kind of dry fit it to where it needs to be. Stand up for me for just a second. Take you a Sharpie or whatever, make you a line. Then you can take it apart. And you know when you glue it, that's where you need to be. Let's try to get those lines to match up. Put it in. It's like that. And I can glue this fella on right here. I had that floor drain dry fit on there, and I loved the way it was fitting, and everything looked really good as far as elevation went. And then I stood back and realized I was under the window. Can't really put a closet over the window, and I want the floor drain in the closet with the hot water heater, so I'm going to have to get a different style fitting there. Get rid of all that, which is kind of a bummer. That's lost money. Anyway, we'll get a different fitting that goes right there, and I'll end up tucking it in over here on this corner, and that'll work really well. But it's about 2 hours round trip to the closest plumbing supply store, so I'm not going to do that today. Instead, let's start the painful process of getting stone in here. Yes, if I were in Dirt Perfect's excavators, it would be a fairly simple process to take it, scoop it, and drop it over the wall. If I felt like paying the money for a rock slinger or a stone slinger truck, it'd be a little bit easier as well. But we actually don't have stone slinger trucks where we're at. But I do know what they are, and people recommend them all the time. And I could pay, where we're at, double the tonnage and put dry stone in a concrete mixer, and they will shoot the concrete out of the concrete mixer like that. But like I said, it costs twice as much to do it that way. Run what you brung. You know we're doing it. $7.55, probably some kitty litter buckets, and a rake. If I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, I have a rake with a handle that's not broken. I don't know if you can see that line right there, but that'll be finished floor height. Well, that'll be about a ½ inch below finished floor height, which is where we're going to put this floor drain. I could very easily do this. Use a long sweep 90. Get on there. There we go. You want to make sure the top of your drain's as flat as you can get it. These little torpedo levels are perfect for that. Got this little 4-inch to 3-inch bushing, or step down, or whatever you'd like to call it. This Y comes over and it'll catch the 4-inch trunk line that shoots up this wall over here. But we're going to step down to 3-inch where it's going to catch the toilet and the vanity in the basement. Yeah, that should work. Okay. I only had about an hour this evening. Got some tools drugged down here, some more fittings, and got a little bit done. I'll meet you guys tomorrow evening, see if we can get her finished out. You go try to sneak in for some pets? It's not gonna, no, this isn't the time. This is not the time. What we're picking up here, this will be the bathroom sink, the vanity. You can do it a couple different ways. Some people bring it over and come up the wall, but honestly, I think it's easier, get that hammer off the string line, daggone it. Honestly, I think it's easier to just step up out of the floor underneath the vanity and just cut a hole in the bottom of the base. That always seems to work out better for me.
Too heavy? Okay, that's fine. Well, thanks for bringing them in. Are you girls just go play out here?
I don't want to try.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to help, you can definitely help. If you want to play in the woods, you can play in the woods. Whatever you would like to do.
This pipe. Is this like
What's
the
up?
basement?
Where's your phone at?
My phone's right here. You go take some pictures of some mushrooms for Mom? Okay.
Don't break his phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice if you didn't break it. Here you go. And if you get locked out or you get confused on where you're at on there, just come back and I'll get you straightened out, okay? All right, kiddo. Are you done taking pictures already?
Yeah.
Did you get some good ones?
Yep.
Nice.
Maybe you can see them.
You want to look at them?
There's Charlotte.
Get those.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, pup, how are you? Oh, you did some videos too. Very cool. I'll show Mommy when she gets home today. Ooh, you stink, pup.
Hey, girl.
Yes. Oh, that is. You got her, bud.
I'm gonna go ride my bike.
Okay, just come back every so often, please.
Okay.
Concrete on the outside stays stone on the inside. That way, the drain for the garden tub that goes here, we have room to work with. We can get that into the trap. I'm not gonna glue this in here. I'm just gonna dry fit it. Purpose of that is just to keep stone from getting down in that trap for the time being. But whenever we go to actually plumb that, we'll pull a lot of this stone out, and I want as much room to play with as possible down here. That way, if I need to put some fittings on or whatever to get that angle coming in right, we can do that. That's good. That's good. There you go. There you go. Nice.
I
That's
try
right.
to get big scoops like you.
Well, are you as big as me? Uh-huh.
No, that's your bucket. Right
Oh, I put it in the wrong bucket. Daggone it, bud. Okay. And you're going. That's a big scoop. That's a big scoop. Yeah! Nice work.
That's why I did.
Perfect. All right, that's all the rock we need for now. Good job. Now, a real good plumber, you don't even see the primer, but your dad gets primer all over everything because he's kind of sloppy sometimes.
Look, it's raining.
You'll notice there's primer on this already. The other day when I went to this store, I got what I thought was a 45. It was actually a 60. So there's a good lesson to you. Make sure that what you're picking up out of the bin is what's supposed to be in the bin. It's dry. It's been there for a few days. I got one more piece I got to put on, and then I got to explain to everybody what's going on with the plumbing. And then we'll go get your costume, and we'll play a little joke on Uncle Tony. Does that sound good?
Can I get a drink of water first?
Well, yeah, we gotta go back to the house, get your costume. So. That's an intro. Yes, ma'am.
Look at me.
How's a fella supposed to get anything done? That is perfect. Let's give you a quick overview of how everything turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. Remember, stackable washer dryer right here. This will be the drain for the washer, and we will obviously add a trap up here to catch the washer. I don't want to put that down below the concrete. I like to have the trap above the concrete if possible. So if there's ever a future issue, it's easier to work on than a floor drain. So if anything ever backs up, hopefully it'll help contain the mess a little bit. Drain for the jacuzzi garden tub. Drain for the sink. Of course, our toilet flange here. Floor drain for a little hot water heater closet. And our 4-inch main trunk line that'll catch everything upstairs. And then obviously all the vent lines, we'll tie all the vent lines together in that wall so everything's vented the way it's supposed to, and then a vent line that runs out for the high vents. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna ask, do you have to be a licensed plumber where you're at to do this? If your job, if you're billing people, the way it says it, if you're operating in the capacity of a plumber, if someone's hiring you, if you're working on somebody's property, you do have to be a licensed plumber. But if you're working on your own property, you don't. So it's not really an issue for what we're doing because this is obviously our own property. That doesn't mean you can't build it to code though. You still kind of have to stick to code. You can't throw a sanitary TM below the slab and hope that that's gonna be okay. Obviously we have Ys everywhere and 45s. Any 90s we have are long sweep 90s, like that one there, that one, and that one, and that one are all long sweep 90s, and everything's angled and flowing and has the right amount of slope that it's supposed to. And there's also a clean out on that drain. Remember that fancy little plug you can pull for a clean out, which means we have a clean out here. So if we need to, we can snake all the way down that one. Obviously, if you need to snake that, you can just take the toilet off, and we'll add a clean out up here. It'll come 45 off with the access panel, so if we ever need to clean out down that, we can do it from here. So we should be good as far as clean outs go. All in all, really happy with the way it turned out. We still have some more backfill to do. We still have quite a bit of work to do as far as rebar goes for getting prepped for this slab, but I'm getting ready to take off and go with my two brothers up to see our grandfather's ship that he served in on World War II, the USS the Sullivans. I'll be back from that by the time this posts, but that's what I'm getting ready to go do in the next day. So I'm just kind of done. We're gonna go get a costume that Lillian has, and we're gonna go play a prank on my brother. He put a trail cam up on the new property to see what kind of deer activity there is. We're gonna see what we can come up with here. You ready? Okay, you ready? Let's go.
It looks like a dangerous bridge because it has peggings on it.
Yep.
And it has a symbol. Oh yeah, wait up.
See it? That's it right there. So we came up on the back side of it.
What is that?
Well, there's a camera on the front side of that. And he's trying to catch pictures of wild creatures like that wild creature. The doggo, Charlotte, yeah.
Down.
To see what comes out here. So, we'll let Lily get all suited up.
These are tried. Okay, let me.
You are like dinosaur.
I am the dinosaur. I don't think those will go down anymore. Maybe this Halloween I should get a bigger dinosaur.
A bigger dinosaur?
Bigger dinosaur.
Can you see your shoes?
Yeah.
So the Rode microphone died on us just as soon as we got out there, but you can see, you get the gist of it. Inflatable dinosaur costume, and awesome kiddos who love playing jokes on their Uncle Tony. We had a pretty good time with it. The really cool thing is the next video on the channel, which will be on Sunday. Yep, we are back to Thursday, Sunday videos now that my training is officially over. Anyway, the next video on Sunday will be the trip with my two brothers up to see the USS the Sullivans, which is the ship that our grandfather served on during World War II. And Tony sent me a text the other day and said he wants to check out the trail cam footage on the way up, see if there's any activity. So we might actually get his reaction on camera, so that'll be kind of funny. As far as the YouTube yacht goes, we got a lot done. A lot of stone backfill in, and almost all the rough-in plumbing done. I still need to stake off those floor drains to make sure they're nice and secure. I still need to obviously tape over the tops of those pipes before we pour the concrete. And clearly we have some more work to do as far as rebar and backfill goes. But I'm pretty happy with the progress we made, considering this was all done during those weeks that I was working on the training. Now, as far as what's to come on the channel, like I said, next video will be the USS the Sullivans. And then after that, I will be hauling equipment up to the homestead if everything comes together as far as schedule goes, and be renting Dirt Perfect's equipment to work on the pond project. So I'm pretty excited to get going back on that, and hopefully we can get that knocked out. And then we'll be back on the bandsaw mill and back on the timber bridge project. So a lot of great stuff coming up. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. Hope you're enjoying the content. I'm certainly enjoying having you guys around, and as always, you guys know I appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.